Once upon a time, Bone Crusher Giant going to come down from Harlan, take out one of those Llanowar Elves. Goose going to be cashed in to make an Oko. More food on the battlefield. Oko feels like it might be a trump here. Goblin Rabblemaster, though, going to go ahead and make a token. That's going to attack Oko, and the turn passes back to Tommy.
Yeah, and the big draw of this Simic aggro deck is right here on the board, right? It's the combination. You have Oko, you have the Gilded Goose. These cards interact so well with each other. You know, we call it Simic aggro, but it's basically a mono green deck that's just put some Okos and Stubborn Denials in there.
Right. I think that's an important strategic element, though. Having access to Stubborn Denial gives you game against those big decks. Gives you a chance to go ahead and steal it against removal. It's like Tommy thinking about what to do with Oko.
Yeah, it's an interesting spot where if you feel like a 3-3 is fairly safe on your side, you'd rather turn your food into a 3-3.
No, he's just going to take the Rabblemaster.
But yeah, this is the aggressive line.
Yeah, I like it from Tommy Kessler. Let's get this game over with. Here's a Lovestruck Beast. That's going to go ahead and make a human. Smuggler's Copter going to come down as the follow-up for Tommy. That's a nice one. Here's an Elvish Mystic, followed up by the Bone Crusher Giant that was on Adventure.
Okay, and the big question when Tommy stole, you know, he cashed in Oko, was whether or not the Rabblemaster was going to live. Mm-hmm. And it did live through the turn, which just makes that a great play. Absolutely.
And has a follow-up Oko as well. Going to go ahead and make one of those goblins a 3-3. Cedric Phillips hitting the gym, getting all buff. That small goblin going to go ahead and crew up the Smuggler's Copter. Discard Stubborn Denial, passes the turn back to Harlan.
And this is one of the interactions we see with the Rabblemaster. All the goblins that would normally just, you know, get cleaned up in combat right away. Instead, you get to use them to crew the Smuggler's Copter, and you can amass your goblin army.
Yeah, we've seen that a few times here this weekend. Craig, Harlan's got a big one in hand. It's Glorybringer coming down, exerting, going to kill the Cedric Phillips. Continues to attack. 8 power headed Tommy's way. Harlan has 4 copies of Glorybringer in his deck. Oko falls to 1. Still alive despite dragons doing their best to run it down.
Yeah, Oko's a ridiculous card, and it's just a super clean answer to this dragon.
Yeah? Now we're going to make a food instead.
Well, it was exerted, so he's got the turn off before he has to deal with it.
And follow-up is a Questing Beast from Tommy Kessler. Heavy hitters.
Yeah, a lot of haymakers out of both sides here.
Yeah. Harlan's going to fall to 7, but has a follow-up Glorybringer. That one's going to exert as well. Takes out the Questing Beast. Gilded Goose going to hop in the way of that Glorybringer. Tommy's hellbent now. Has an Oko on the battlefield, though.
Yeah, that chump block was pretty important, though. If he can navigate his way through these dragons, he's actually not in that terrible of a spot.
Yeah, and here's a Steel Leaf champion that's going to be able to block Elks very well. How about a third Glorybringer?
Dragons!
That is going to go ahead and exert as well. Headed after the Steel Leaf champion. Glorybringer doing work in this match for Harlan.
You know what they say, it's the third Glorybringer that breaks the back.
That is conventional wisdom.
Oh, man.
Tommy drew a Lovestruck Beast for the turn. Going to go ahead and send that on an adventure. Smuggler's Copter, going to go ahead and do some crewing. 1/1 token is blocked by the Llanowar Elf. Harlan at just 1. Can he put together a win on this turn? Has a Rabblemaster and I believe an Elvish Mystic in hand.
Yeah, this is awkward because he's going to have to leave a dragon back to block this Smuggler's Copter if he can't kill the opponent here.
Right, Tommy at 12. I don't think Tommy's going to die. Almost certainly die next turn if he can't kill Harlan. Both those goblins going to go ahead and attack. Lovestruck Beast will eat 1. Elvish Mystic on the battlefield. And that's all up to the top of Tommy's deck. Let's take a draw, see what we got. I think that was Galta. That's a big card.
That is a huge card.
I don't know if it gets the job done here, though. It's interesting. Can you find blocks to stay alive if you're on Tommy's side? I'm not sure you can. Tommy's going to have a think here. Can't cast Galta right now.
Yeah, it's the
Would
option.
have to crew.
Yeah, he has the option to crew up the copter here.
That restricts your blockers, though.
The real dagger is that he doesn't have an elf still on the board, because then he would have had the extra mana to play the Lovestruck Beast and Galta in this turn.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen now. And I think Tommy's kind of up against it here. We are going to go ahead and crew Copter, play Galta, and pass.
And even not having the mana up to sacrifice the food could be huge.
Yeah. Harlan's going to cash in his own food, move to 4. Tommy at 11 right now. Harlan takes his draw. This is interesting. I don't know that Harlan has the kill here either.
Can you imagine a game with 3 Glory Bringers, Galta's on the board, there's been multiple Okos, and you're still not sure which way the game's going to swing?
Yeah, this one's tight. Haymaker after haymaker on both players' sides. Harlan thinking about attacks. It's everyone. And we're going to double activate on Lovestruck Beast, and that is going to be lethal. And Harlan finds the line, takes down Tommy Kessler in the first game. Gruul aggro over Simic aggro. Let's talk a bit about sideboarding here. We'll start over on Harlan's side. We're looking at 3 Abrade, 2 Unravel the Ether, a Magma Spray, 2 Roast, 2 Courser of Crufix, 3 Chandra Torch of Defiance. Like that one a lot here. Vivian Reed and a Mutavault. Craig, anything you like from Harlan?
So I think the way that these games are going to play out is Harlan's going to bring in some more removal. The game's going to slow down just a little bit, and he's going to lean heavily on these Glory Bringers and stuff like that to go over the top through the mid game and late game. And so Roast is just spectacular. It deals so much damage, it's just going to kill everything on Tommy's side. And if you're bringing in more removal with Roast, maybe the Abrades as well, you're going to want Chandra. Not only does it kill the opposing things, but then it recoups that card advantage as the game moves on.
Spot on. Meanwhile, over on Tommy's side, we were looking at 4 Life Crafters Bestiaries. Get those now. I'm going to go buy those between rounds. 2 Feed the Clan, a Thrashing Brontodon, 2 Setessan Tactics, 1 Grafdigger's Cage, 2 Hunt the Hunter, 2 Sleep, and a Spell Pierce. Sleep would have been pretty good in that game. Yeah,
so Hunt the Hunter and Sleep both strike me as particularly good in this situation. One of the key things is just getting out ahead, cleaning up the mana creatures from the opponent, and Hunt the Hunter is so efficient at doing that. And Sleep is just potentially a complete backbreaker when the board starts to get clogged up.
Yeah. I think that's the Haymaker to beat the Haymakers.
Setessan Tactics. Tell me about this card. It's been a while.
It's been a while for me too. My recollection, I'm not cheating right now. I'm not going to go look at it. My recollection is that it grants your creatures the ability to tap and fight opponent's creatures, and I think there's like an upside to it as well. It's either Strive, is that what it does?
Yeah.
So it costs 1 green more to cast for each target beyond the first. Until end of turn, any number of target creatures get +1/+1 and gain tap. This creature fights another target creature. Base cost 1 colorless, 1 green.
See, this is an interesting one.
This might be good here.
Well, it's a very situational card, right? Like, you need a fatty creature that doesn't have summoning sickness.
What about just cleaning up your opponent's elves?
It can be okay. It costs 2 to do it. I don't know. It just seems so situational. Hunt the Hunter only costs 1 mana. It's going to do what you want it to do almost every single time. This card's far more clunky, but it's got that high ceiling on it sometimes.
Right. Well, we'll see if Tommy thinks it's something he's interested in. Both players drawing openers now. Looks like we're going to keep Once Upon a Time is the play. Always have a mana elf. Must already have it. Botanical Sanctum is the grab from Tommy. Taps it. Llanowar Elves. Big shock. Other side, Wild Slash. Harlan had an elf, but you always answer your opponent's elf first, I think. Smuggler's Copter is the play from Tommy. Harlan, couple of elves. Elvish Mystic, Llanowar Elves. Craig, we're going to talk about that after this match. I want to talk about elves. Remind me.
Okay.
Here's a Steel Leaf Champion from Tommy Kessler. That's a big one. Going to go ahead and crew up that Smuggler's Copter. Does it fit in the Smuggler's Copter? It's pretty big.
It's a big copter.
Okay.
Or maybe the copter, I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows how these Dominaria vehicles...
Thematically, the vehicles have never made a lot of sense.
Sure. I want Galta to get in the copter.
Yeah, a lot of flavor fails there, right?
Yeah. Just a dinosaur cruising around in a smuggler's copter. What is a dinosaur smuggling? Meat. I'm about to find out. Thrashing Brontodon going to hop in the copter for a ride. Harlan down to 15. Plenty of mana. Glorybringer in hand. Yeah, let's do that. The answer is always Glorybringer.
Yeah, that is a good card.
And that's going to go ahead and kill that Thrashing Brontodon.
Yeah, Tommy was doing a good job of this game of just deploying big threat after big threat. He's been looting with the Smuggler's Copter, but I can't imagine he can just keep doing this forever.
Yeah, the Gruul aggro deck has some sources of card advantage it's able to cash in. Glorybringer among them. Here's Questing Beast. Crewed up Copter.
Yeah, the card's important.
So far, dinosaurs, questing beasts, giant elves have all taken a ride in the Smuggler's Copter. How about another Chandra? That's going to go ahead, eat that questing beast. And now Tommy's out of resources and just extends the hand. And Harlan Führer takes down Tommy Kessler 2-0 on Simic aggro. Gruul looked real impressive there, and that's exactly why I'm into this deck right now.
Yeah, the persistent removal. We've